This week in comic books, DC shows us that they can still tell us a great story, really beat it into our heads, right there with that Three Jokers storyline. Oh my lord, it was unbelievable. Also on the Marvel side of the house, right when we think we understand the whole glowy orb resurrection thing, Marvel's like, you know what, this is a little too simple. Hickman, can you complicate it up? And he's like, yeah, I sure can. Cuckoo, ka-choo. He did that to us. And then also in my indie selections this week, oh my lord, Delta Dogs is coming at it hard. This is a book that has been evolving, and I've loved every minute of it. So definitely hit that intro so we could talk about this some more. Hey, what's going on, you wonderful weirdos? I'm Pocan Joe, and as always, you're pretty cool for swinging by. If this is your first time on the channel, basically what I do is I pick up new comic book holiday books, read them, take a bunch of notes, and even little side notes at the dinner table, which drives my wife crazy.
Weird. I didn't ask questions.
Try to pick up little nuances of information in it, and then discuss if it was actually a good comic book or not. This is all opinionated. Please share your thoughts in the comments down below. Without further ado, let's get started. We're going to switch up the format a little bit. I'm just going to start with my indies this week. A comic book that I've been reading over a period of time now on a pretty regular basis is Delta Dogs. This is a local company here called Millennial Comics. Link in the description. I've mentioned this book before, so has Spectacular Spider Grandpa. We really love first off, we love the guy, the writer of this book. We see him at all the cons, but we also liked his story. And it was really cool to kind of see this book kind of evolve as it's gone through. So as we're launching off of a new season of this, we have new villains. We got a new superhero, maybe kind of sort of. You get this whole kind of boys vibe with this superhero, like there's something in the background. And he's kind of cheesy. He's got this whole red, white, and boom thing going on. It was weird.
What's that supposed to mean?
But our main characters in here also have a struggle, which is good. You should have struggle. And basically, they're just young men trying to figure out if they should or should not be superheroes, even though they have powers. And one in particular is a little upset. He's a little younger, gets his feelings hurt because everybody's like, no, you can't be a hero. And he's like, no, I want to be a hero. And they're like, sorry, son. And he's like, oh, no, I'm going to run away to Teeny Giant and get a soda. And then, like, the villain's in there, so they kind of dump it off on that. Solid writing, solid dialogue, great story. Check this out.
If you put it that way.
Link will be in the description. If you just pick up one issue, you're going to want to read more. I promise you that. Moving on. Department of Truth. So what if every conspiracy theory out there could become true? That's ultimately what this comic book asks here. It doesn't tell you that they are true. It says, what if they could be true? If enough people believed in it, especially. So this was really fun. Basically, this is the storyline introducing us to their kind of recruitment of a new person. The head of the Department of Truth, Lee Harvey Oswald, that guy, Mr. Bang Bang President guy. He leads it. Why? Because it's a conspiracy theory. We also talk about flat earthers. We make fun of right side politics. It pokes fun at everything that goes on in here, but it's kind of a serious story. If I had one criticism, I'm not personally a huge fan of this kind of artwork. Normally, I find it very annoying, and it almost seems lazy. It just seems smeared. But it does fit in this story. I want to make that very clear, even though I don't like it, right? Doesn't matter. It fits the tone of the story, this kind of creepy government agent with a bunch of creepy government stuff going on. It's a good book. I enjoyed it. I'll be reading some more of that. Dear Becky, this is kind of weird. They kind of seem to settle down on this format where it's Huey and January and Bobby. Bobby shows up. If you don't know, Bobby's a transgender male. I'm not sure if it's already done or it's being done. No, because they mentioned hormone pills in here. So that's kind of happening. And then there's always like this worried thing in their little group. And then we get into the storyline where we got Billy the Butcher doing something horrific. And this one, it's to the Scorchers. He drops all them bodies. It was awesome. And then we kind of go to the whole Billy Butcher and Rebecca love thing where they can't live without each other, yada, yada, yada. And then we catch Huey on the toilet reading the diary, right? So it's kind of the diary is the main storyline in this. And that's the whole story point of this. So it's interesting to that point, but I'm starting to pick up on this constant formula of it. I would really like for something else to kind of happen in this book other than just a quick, hey, we're going to screw over some soups. By the way, Becky, I love you. I love you so much. And Huey, how long are you going to stay on the toilet?
God only knows.
Give me something else. Otherwise, I'm going to have to start dropping this. Okay, so we're going to move into Marvel. Hey, remember that giant-sized X-Men that everybody really loves? Yeah, so Marvel's really, really trying to do that again. And I fed into it. I thought I was going to get a new storyline in this. This is what you get for not reading synopsis of stories before you buy them. But I try to be a fair critic when I read a comic book. I try to stay completely void of the comic books as I go in. So this is a 1 in 25 wraparound cover. It's okay. I got a lot of light in the background, but it's such a nice day. I need the sun. Wraparound cover here. Basically, this is all the origin stories of, like, you know, Nightcrawler joining X-Men, what happened in that one. It's a bunch of old stories, really. So, yeah, if I would have known that, I wouldn't have bothered with it. I have most of these origin stories as I read through it. Moving on to... What am I moving on to? Let's talk about Avengers. So this is that whole Moon Knight, the Merc Spectre story. Interesting, very cool concept in here. Him and T'Challa, they go at it in here and fight, and heavily fight. But then we find out that it's not really a fight. It's actually a sacrifice. So the Dark Phoenix, yeah, the same Dark Phoenix, will take over Moon Knight so he can go actually battle Khonshu, a living god. Or not living god, it's a god. Capital G god, too, which makes it a huge deal. Also, we find out that Mjolnir cannot affect or T'Challa, because royal blood. And during the first Avengers, like the BC Avengers, at one point, the king of Wakanda actually held Mjolnir.
Don't worry about it. We'll just fill in the blanks ourselves, I guess.
Saw a quick flash of that. I like all that stuff from the past there. Of course, the Starband baby is still a thing in here. There's a scene in there where it kind of looks like... You know, why am I telling you? I can show you. Sometimes I forget this is video and not radio. Let's take a quick peek here. It's actually quite hilarious. Is it just me or is somebody trying to say... Does that look like Trump? Does that look like a little angry Trump? It's like a little angry Trump? That's... Ooh.
What's going on here?
That's funny. We can laugh at anything. And also we get that one-eyed watcher in here too, being mysterious, not really telling us anything at all. Next, I moved on to Fantastic Four. I could not get a thing cover to save my life. Everybody seems to be buying those up. And this, we kind of get this quick backflash story of, hey, remember when Iceman was a Fantastic Four member? Do you remember that? Here's why that was a thing, which we already knew. So basically it was just a flashback story. And then at the end, we get a quick, yeah, we are family. Everybody sitting around eating dinner, talking about the importance of family. However, I am liking these two characters right here. They're fun. They're not Earthlings, so, Earth things are kind of new to them. The boy Joe has decided to be a Yankees fan.
I might be your drinking buddy.
The Yankees of York, I think is what he calls them. And the girl is starting to like fancy dresses and clothes and stuff like that. Like they're being kids, normal kids. And that's really cool. And they're kind of integrated into their very odd family. I guess the biggest thing you can probably pick from this is Johnny Storm starting to realize that he kind of needs to be an adult now and stop, being weird. Okay, the Immortal Hulk, the Thrashing Place. The Thrashing Place. All right, so the Thrashing Place is actually the thrashing floor. Basically, this is a area in which farmers would bring wheat and kind of crush it, right? Because it was either hard stone or hard dirt, and it would actually separate the grain from the stalks, so you can make bread and stuff like that out of it. Heavily used in the Bible, especially in the Old Testament. The thrashing floor, David built his kingdom upon the thrashing floor. The separation is ultimately what it's talking about. The seed, which is nothing more than wheat, from the husk. Why is all that nonsense relevant?
Yep.
Because that's what happens in this story. We get a little girl who gets somehow or another affected with gamma radiation, and she can turn into a monster. And she does turn into a monster. And come to find out, it's kind of like a Gmo type place that's kind of playing with crops and stuff like that. So, what is it? Immortal Hulk finds the child, finds the monster, and absorbs the gamma radiation monster into him. It was really weird. Like, it's creepy horrors type stuff, right? But still good. And I really enjoyed it. And then we kind of get this, woe is me, David Banner. At least you're better off than me. I had to do all this alone. Apparently you're the father of her. You'll do okay.
Oh, gotta go.
What? Other than that, this is good. It's good. That's how I liked it. Let's see here. Marvel Zombies. So, big news in this. Peter Parker gets his web shooters back, right? Because it's sometime in the future. And, what is it? Him, Blade, the Reed kids. They're all trying to find the Hive Collective, right? Because the kids are going to go do it anyway. So the adults are like, well, okay, let's follow the kids and take care of this.
Okay, you can tell me. Seriously, what's going on here?
Apparently kids are ruling the world in the future. I don't know. They get attacked. They have to crash. There's a non-organic colony, if you will. The robots. And Viv is there. You remember Viv. She's kind of the knockoff version of Vision, only in female form, because we have to have duplicates of everything. Yeah, I said that. Anyway. Zombies burst in, even though all the computer geniuses, robots, thought that it would never happen. It happens. So then they got to jump on their Sentinel and they got to book out. And where are they going to go? They're going to go to Atlantis because that's the radiation reading that they're getting. That's literally all that really happened in this book. So I'm not really sure how much longer I'm going to be on with this. Hopefully something happens in the next issue. Hopefully this is an in-between issue where we're just trying to fill issues or spaces in between the panels. Maybe some explanation happened in here that would be relevant in the next book.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see here. Strange Academy. So we're down in New Orleans, Louisiana, and we get some Haitian Creole. It was actually funny. This one particular character, and her name escapes me right now, but she's obviously from this area because she speaks Creole. Where is she at? Right here. He actually goes off on a fortune teller. First off, that cover is awesome. I like this story. It's a bunch of diverse characters.
That's not much to go on.
Regardless, the kids go back into town. They want to check out New Orleans. They get done with all their studies and everything else. One girl's able to open up her third eye and see a bunch of things that feed off of everybody naturally. And of course, they get into trouble. They go to a voodoo shop, and a fortune teller there is like, hey, I want to tell you your future. And tries to grab one of the kids. Kid ain't hearing it. And our character, Dumanu, he finds out that, yeah, he's going to turn into a villain. Like, that's just going to happen. When? It doesn't really explain it, but you kind of see the terror and everything. But the fortune teller really wants to read the young girls, and she keeps grabbing at her or whatever else. Our one character looks at her, and I'm looking at my notes right now to see if I can find it. Yeah. Just in case you don't know Creole, especially Haitian Creole, there's a line in there where she goes, let my friends go before I walk you to the crossroads. Of course, this is foreshadowing because the name of the store was The Crossroads. I thought that was interesting. Obviously, she has a link to death or voodoo or something along those lines. So that should be pretty interesting. I'm definitely picking up some more Academy.
I don't know. It's hard to trust someone under these circumstances.
Or Strange Academy, as fun as that is. Let's see here. Where are we at now? We got... Oh, yeah, Shang-Chi came out. So Shang-Chi came out, first cover appearance of the Five Weapon Society. Or the Weapon of Five Society. Regardless, it's weird. It depends on how you want to say it. Shang-Chi has moved into a normal life. We've talked about this kind of story arc before where somebody has such an exciting life and then they either get drawn back into it or they have to mentor somebody that's going through something similar.
I seriously don't know what you're talking about.
He's getting drawn back into it because apparently the flame lit for him to be in charge of the Society of Fine Weapons. Now, they're broken up into different groups now. Like there's Dagger, Fist, Staff, Saber, and Hammer. That's it. I've remembered them, right? Those are your Five Weapon Societies. And then there's like a head of each one. Well, Shang-Chi's sister, I'm guessing, is in charge of the Hammers, and she's just taking over for all the societies, right? She's like, I'm going to rule the world. I've made up my mind that that's going to happen.
How do you want to handle this?
And of course, some of the people in the other societies are like, we don't really, like, we're not cool with you. Let's go get Shang-Chi to, punch her in her face, I guess. So she's going to be taking off to England to go take care of his sister. Yeah, how's that for some family drama?
Well, I think the balls are in your court.
Moving on, Sword of X. So yeah, this seemed like it should have been good, but I kept getting lost. I kind of got the whole concept with gold orb or egg or whatever we're calling them now. I got the whole resurrection thing, and apparently it only happened. You can only be resurrected if you die on Krakoa. But I could have sworn I read someplace else where they brought the dead body from someplace in the United States to Krakoa. I don't know. I gotta go find that. I could have sworn that happened.
Because it's all a big mystery.
But it doesn't matter because Hickman's writing is big brained, right? It's big brained. And he's smarter than us, so we just need to shut up and accept it. However, I did like the fact that Rockslide did die in this, and when they tried to resurrect him, it wasn't Rockslide anymore. It was it kind of looked like him, but basically they just made a new being. So now, not only can they resurrect their dead as long as it dies on its own island, it seems like a very limited ability.
I want to keep my secret.
Regardless, they can also just randomly create new people. Ta-da! So yeah, that happened. Weirdness. So what did we do with the body of Rockslide, or what was left of the old Rockslide? We made a champion circle out of it, and now we got to go get the swords. And the first person that has the first sword for our heroes is, of course, Magic. She had it in her hand. She just steps up there and she's like, "Let the battle begin. I'm here." Apparently, when you get all 10 done, and it opens up the portal, and everybody goes and does battle. So you got to have this big conflict to get to the gate that opens up to the next conflict, and now we're starting to understand why this thing is going to be 22 issues long.
This is deep, bro.
Yeah. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to fall into this. There's some ones I really want to see. I want to see Wolverine, and why would he even need a sword, right? Because, he has several of them, in his hands. Why does he need a katana? But I keep seeing pictures of him with a katana, so I'm kind of interested. Plus, I'm a sword guy. I like swords and blades and weapons and stuff like that. So I'm trying to pick up as much of this as I can, but I'll be honest with you, I'm not trying to get tied to this, It's kind of like me at 18, I'm not trying to get tied to anything.
Oh, I know.
Moving on. Into Marvel, or not Marvel, into DC. So, DC. So, we got some more of this Multiverse Ends storyline going on. And we get Nightwing. I like how everybody's kind of picking up on Nightwing as kind of a joke name. Because they're like, which one? And stuff like that. It's interesting. In here, we kind of get Hawkgirl, a version of Hawkgirl, a version of Nightwing, a weird version of Detective Chimp that I don't like this one.
Nothing personal.
And what are they trying to do? They're trying to help the heroes take down the towers and all this other stuff, but they're trying to do it in their own way where they can find the Legion of Doom. In other words, the throne that has the Legion of Doom characters that is fueling a lot of this mess. But they need Lex Luthor's help, and of course, nobody likes Lex Luthor right now. She literally tried to take his head off. I keep saying literally. It's a fictional story. I don't think that's correct. Comment down below, please. So yeah, that's basically all this was. This is a fill-in story, just to let you know, hey, there's other things going on in the multiverse.
Okay. Now we're getting somewhere.
And, I don't care. Okay, moving on. Superman and, Batman Annual. Hey, who would win in a fight with Superman and Batman? And you're probably thinking, that's simple. It would be, and you would fill in your own blank, of course, because everybody would think something different. Well, in this one, so does Batmite and Mixieplix. They kind of think differently, too. And instead of trying to figure it out, they control the action figures, which controls the reality. So we actually see Batman and Superman fighting here, because God knows we haven't gotten enough of that.
Just keep doing whatever it is you do.
So that happened in here. At the end, of course, they keep arguing the what ifs of the whole thing, and we kind of see the characters. They go, well, we wouldn't because we're bestest of friends, and it just seems a little naive to me. Definitely a kid's storyline, and the artwork is definitely kind of for kids as well, young adults, around that age. Definitely not my storyline.
I gotta tell you, I saw it coming.
Batman, the Joker War Zone. So we get some more information about Clown Hunter in here. And he did it, his storyline, I didn't really much care for. If you don't know, this has multiple stories in it. And I'm going backwards in it, maybe because I'm dyslexic, I'm not sure. But we do had that artwork for his storyline, which I thought was weird. So basically, he just kills a bunch of Jokers, or clowns in this one. He's Clown Hunter. One of the things I did see, remember when Harley Quinn took Batman to that Ivy's garden place, Eden, and to help him recover, and then like the bad guys showed up and started doing stuff to it? Well, eventually so did Poison Ivy. And she dropped all them bodies, like dropped them all. And made herself, and she's like, why am I tied to people? Why is this happening? It's time for me to be the queen. Snap girl, queen it up. So she does. And she gets herself a hat that looks something very similar to what Jesus used to rock out back in the day.
Yes, that's what I thought.
It's very weird. This story with Orphan and Spoiler. Yeah, I don't care about those two characters. That is just absolutely
It's a gold star for clever, doesn't he?
cheesy. We find out Lucius Fox is rich now because he stole Bruce Wayne's money now. Everybody's stealing Bruce Wayne's money. I tell you, it was crazy.
You look for the opportunity, you take a shot.
And we get this interesting story right here, and it was probably the most interesting one. We see the Joker, and he goes and visits Bane at Arkham. He was still rich at the time. He can do whatever he wants. So he goes over there, and he's actually mad at Bane, because when Bane did the exact same thing that the Joker did now, he didn't think big enough, right? That was his big, literally, that's all he did. He was like, if I kill you now, that really wouldn't be a joke. And he put his little mask on him and everything. I liked the dialogue in it. It was very sadistic, and I really enjoyed it. It was good stuff. Next, Death Metal, Multiverse Ends. Yeah, got that variant. I need to stop buying variants. It's just getting ridiculous these days. So basically, we're in the multiverse in this one, and we got green lanterns everywhere trying to blow up a building. This whole story is prefaced with a Green Lantern basically telling Owlman everything that has gone up to this point that's led to this. And Owlman, if you don't know who Owlman, he's like the mirror image of Batman for the Crime Syndicate, or the League of Injustice, whatever. I think it's Crime Syndicate or something along those lines. Doesn't really matter. He's Owlman.
It's complicated.
He finds out that he is the one true opposite of Batman, not the Joker who laughs and all this other stuff. Because he's a constant no matter how many times the multiverse is restarted. Okay, that seems a little hinky to me, but I'm tracking.
What is this about?
So he's perfectly happy to help the heroes because he knows that once the multiverse starts over again, guess what? He's going to be there. We also get the rainbow. I call them the rainbow Batmans. It's a bunch of Batmans, different colors, kind of like a Green Lantern spin-off type thing for Batman. They kind of show up with baby Batman, who's evil and sadistic and literally wants to rip the flesh off of people. Yeah, very weird. They all battle in here, and of course they blow up Perpetua's towers. I like the fact that they kind of recapped on the Perpetua story. I don't need it because I've read that line. I thought it was okay at best. I still have a lot of them. But for people that are jumping on heavy metal, when heavy metal came on, they may not understand why these towers exist and all this other stuff.
I've had enough of it's complicated.
So there's your explanation right there. And it's still good. And we got to see Captain Carrot in it, which was awesome. I know. I read this when I was a kid. What can I say? Last but not least, my pick of the week. Oh, I love this so much. And I love these little cards they keep coming out with them. The BJ cards.
What do you think he wants?
Anyway, besides the BJ cards, so what happens in here? Hey, what would happen if Jason Todd, the guy who had his head bashed in The Killing Joke, had his head bashed in, tormented, tortured, just the worst case scenario, and doesn't like Batman.
Almost disappointing.
Right? Doesn't like Batman, and he doesn't mind killing people to get what he wants. Kind of sounds like the Joker. They make a good point in here.
Wow, you really unraveled that little mystery, didn't you?
So when Joker died, Red Hood killed him. Right? Killed him. And they're like, yeah, you could be the next Joker. So the other two kidnap him and like try to talk him into it. But the older one, I guess, the more sadistic, the criminal one, is like, yeah, he's not smart enough. And they leave him with Barbara Gordon and Batman, and they go pick him up. This is mind-bendingly good. I love this story. Definitely pick it up if you can. And this is a 1 in 25 variant. So that's my haul for this week. So what else is going on? Well, still no Comic-Cons going on, as we know. We're still doing the best we can.
I'll see what I can do.
But definitely check out Millennial Comics about that Delta Dogs down there. I know you can download it. I know you can order a comic book. It's good stuff. And you're helping a young comic book creator and a young company. And I'll tell you, it's good stuff. You'll enjoy it. I have another auction, People's Auction, online auction, that I'll be hosting here soon.
Any idea what's in these packages?
I'm just finishing up the last details of that. So definitely keep your eyes open if I forget to mention it in the descriptions. Again, all my bids start off at $1, regardless of what the book is or how many books are in there. It all starts off at $1. I'm just clearing space. And you'll see some good stuff in there, I promise you that.
Mostly it's just hurry up and wait.
Other than that, guys, I got nothing else except for a whole lot of work. Hope you enjoy your week. Bye.
Well, hey, a free drink is a free drink, baby.